Howdy, folks. I'm Callous Cough, cruelly cursing charismatic consumers.
I'm Amber.
And here are more charismatic consumers for us to make cough too. So let's get started. Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Decorating My Home? My girlfriend and I have been living together for nearly 3 years, and we recently moved into a bigger apartment. Our last place was very small and fully furnished, so there wasn't much room to make it feel like ours and feel homely with our own stuff or decor. Now that we're in a bigger place, you can actually decorate and suit your style. My girlfriend already picked up some prints, plants, and little figurines and other things for the living room, bedroom, and spare room. We were recently putting up some shelves in the spare room and living room, and I was telling her that I had been looking at a few prints and figurines to put on them. But she mentioned that she already had something in mind for that space and suggested that I should get some shelves in my home office instead for anything that I wanted. I told her that it doesn't seem fair that she gets to decorate pretty much all of our shared rooms how she likes, while the only space that I get to put in my own style is my office. I mentioned that almost everything in the shared room right now is stuff that she chose, so it would be nice if I could pick a few things for those spaces as well. She said that it's better if I just stick to my office, and when I asked her why that was fair, she brushed it off, saying that it's no big deal and that I shouldn't be bothered by it. I told her I am bothered by it because it feels like she sees the apartment as her space to decorate instead of a shared space. I said that I should have some say in how the place looks, not just her, but she kept insisting that I should just stick with decorating my office and drop it. Am I the jerk for decorating my home? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, absolutely not the jerk. You two either should divide up the spaces equally or try and come to mutual agreements over what's in the space. It should not just be one person or the other. Like sometimes in a relationship, there's one person who does not care about decor at all and one who does, and that's fine if they take over the decorating. But OP very clearly cares about decorating here, and he should have equal say.
Yeah, so I think right now what the fair thing is that since OP gets their office, and it's fair that OP should be able to decorate their office, she gets her own room if she doesn't have her own office to decorate as well, right? And she gets to pick a room, right? And then they can divide up the rest of the house to, decorate either mutually through like a shared agreement, like deciding, both how it should look, or through collaboration. That's the word I'm looking for, collaboration. They should decide through collaboration, or they should either divide them up so that they can have their own spaces, right?
Really the best way is for them to do it mutually. This kind of like divide technique is not going to work out long term, and it's probably going to be very frustrating to both of them. So they need to, this is a growing pain in a relationship. They need to learn how to compromise. And, she may have to have some things she thinks are ugly in her house, but that's, kind of the price for living with another person.
Yeah, well, I think that's reasonable too. I personally still feel like dividing up the spaces is probably reasonable, but figuring out how to collaborate and decorate the space, I think, is probably the optimal solution here. But I don't really like her dismissive attitude
Oh,
here.
her attitude is terrible. Like, if it's not a big deal, then why are you even like telling OP not to decorate? If it's not a big deal, then why don't you just let OP decorate the entire space himself?
Yeah.
Like, clearly it is a big deal, and you're just being dismissive, and it may be time for OP to start reevaluating his relationship.
Yeah, this is really not good, and she needs to listen, and she needs to work with OP and not just be like, aha, your concerns here don't matter. I already have everything worked out. Don't you worry your pretty little head about this. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Totally Chud says, info. What did she put up, and what are you trying to put up? And OP replies, I'm wanting some framed comics and some movie prints and some comic figurines. My partner has some Lego figurines, some generic prints, and some prints of mosaic arts. And No Nectarine 6942 says, it's irritating, but traditionally the wife or girlfriend gets to decorate most of the house. If it's an issue, have another conversation about it. Go from there. And OP replies, have you tried living in the 21st century?
Yeah, I love that comment. OP's, that is.
And Sapphire Donut 1214 says, I always ask for my husband's opinion because it's our home. I know he doesn't really care that much, just wants something comfy and cozy and not full of flowers. He says, babe, whatever you want, I'll build it for you or buy it, but it's our house and I want his opinion. She shouldn't be disregarding your wants or opinions. You are paying for this as well. And Historical Arm 6394 says, do you go 50-50 on chores? My mom decorates most of the house. My dad decorated the master bedroom and his train room, but that's only because he still believes housework is the woman's job, mind you. He has a wife and 2 daughters. And OP replies, yeah, we do. And NoLed 2102 says, you said that you have a home office that you can decorate however you want. Does she have a room that is exclusively hers that she can decorate however she wants? And OP replies, the spare room is only my girlfriend's things. So, I mean, I guess it depends, like, to some degree, like, because that's not really a shared or common space, but...
Well, OP's office isn't a shared or common space.
Yeah, and so I'm curious, like, if this is the spare room is somewhere she spends a lot of time in, similar to an office, then I can see that being more reasonable, but having, a spare room, if that she never uses or anything like that, it's a little bit different. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just kind of pointing out there is some level of difference.
There does need to be an equitable distribution, if they're doing all separate things.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Locking My Bedroom Door After My Roommate Kept Going Through My Stuff Even After I Asked Her Not to? I'm a 27-year-old female, and I share an apartment with my roommate, Jaska, a 25-year-old female. When we moved in together, I made it very clear that I'm private about my personal things like journals, gadgets, especially my skincare, and she agreed and said that she was the same, except she isn't. The last few months, things started happening. My makeup would be moved around. My chargers kept disappearing. She even borrowed the dress that my mom gave me before she passed and put it back in my closet with wrinkles and a man's perfume smell. My skincare was used way, way, way faster than I could have ever used it. I confronted her and kind of asked her nicely at first. She denied everything. Then I caught her literally in my room when she thought that I was at work. She laughed at me and said, "Girl, chill, we're roomies. It's shared stuff." I said, "No, it's not." After that, I bought a simple lock for my bedroom and I started locking it whenever I wasn't inside. She blew up at me, saying that I was destroying the trust in our home and treating her like a thief. I told her, if you want trust, stop going through my things. She's now been passive-aggressive ever since, and one mutual friend said that I overreacted because it's just girl stuff. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. You are entitled to your own privacy in your own room, and you have your own stuff that your roommate is not taking. There's no reason to trust her. She has broken all trust.
You know what I say? I say that OP should do a swappies with their a friend who's agreeing.
Well, that's
or
the thing.
disagreeing.
Yeah, the mutual friend, like, she can go room with the mutual friend and
Yeah.
they'll see how they like it.
They can all share their makeup and stuff like that. You're not even supposed to share makeup.
No.
And I mean, this is a huge invasion of privacy, and OP already outlined the expectation. And OP already said, I'm very private, I don't want you going through my things. And the first thing that she does is start using OP's things. And she's like, oh, you're treating me like a thief. Well,
You're a thief.
If the shoe fits, wear it, right? Like, I think that she needs to understand that she absolutely is a thief and she is stealing from OP and she's using OP's skincare and stuff like that. And this is meaning that OP has to replace their stuff faster. They're wasting resources. Like, this isn't fair to OP at all.
Yeah, and this is something that OP has clearly expressed that they did not want. Like, not that it would have been okay even if OP hadn't, but like, some people like do have a relationship where they can just walk into each other's rooms and take stuff, but that's clearly not the relationship that OP and the roommate have, and the roommate is explicitly violating OP's rules for their space.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest piece of advice here is that OP should probably move out as soon as possible because things are probably only going to get nastier. And like, if she starts sabotaging OP, then that's going to be even a worse situation or making things even more hostile. And like, I could see things going south very quickly with someone like Jessica. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Remotely Turning Off the Utilities and Locking My Brother Out of My Vacation Home After He Broke In? I'm a 28-year-old male, and I bought a simple lake cabin about 3 years ago. I rent it out as an Airbnb occasionally to cover costs, but mostly keep it for myself. My brother, a 32-year-old male, and his wife, a 30-year-old female, have 3 kids, 6, 8, and 10. Last year, I let them stay there for a weekend for free. It was a disaster. They left trash everywhere, broke a window blind, and then let their dog scratch up the hardwood floor. They never offered to pay for the repairs or even apologized. After that, I told them no more using the cabin unless I'm there. Fast forward to this past Friday. Dave called me and asked if they could use the cabin for the weekend because Sarah needed a quote-unquote break. I said no, and I explained that I had guests coming the following week, truth, and that I didn't have time to clean up after them. He bugged me, saying that he promised to clean, but I stood my ground. I said, the answer is no, Dave, don't go there. Well, Saturday morning, I get a notification from my Ring doorbell. I open the app, and there's Dave, Sarah, the kids, and the dog unloading a cooler. It turns out that Dave had memorized the keypad code from last year. I admit that I'm an idiot for not changing it, but I usually just rotate codes for guests and have a master code for family. I called Dave immediately and he didn't answer. I texted, I see you on the camera. You're trespassing. Leave now. He texted back 20 minutes later, relax. We're already unpacked. We'll clean up, I promise. Don't ruin this for the kids. I saw red. I didn't want to call the police on my own brother in front of his kids, so I went with the nuclear option. I opened my smart home app. I remotely changed the door codes. Then I cut off the Wi-Fi, and finally, I went into the smart thermostat setting and I locked the temperature at 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It's currently 40 degrees Fahrenheit outside where the cabin is. I also turned off the electric water heater remotely. I texted him, the door code has been changed. If you leave the house to go to the store or the lake, you'll be locked out. There's no internet, no hot water, and the heat is off. You have 1 hour to pack up and leave before I call the sheriff to report a break-in. They lasted about 45 minutes before I saw them angrily pack the car on the camera. Now my phone is blowing up and my mom is crying, saying that I'm heartless for freezing out my nieces and nephews, and that I should have just let them stay since they were already there. Dave says that I'm a control freak and that I ruined their weekend over a grudge. I feel justified because he explicitly went against my no, but my mom says that I endangered the kids with the cold, has me second guessing myself. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, you made it very clear that they were not to show up there. They trespassed, and you just were not going to make their stay comfortable for them. I mean, it's laughable. It was, OP set the thermostat to 50 degrees.
Yeah, 50
degrees may be unpleasant, but, they had just been had a warm car they could get into, probably had coats on since it was 40 degrees outside. This is not hypothermia territory or anything like that. And even if it had been like ridiculously cold in the house, that's not OP's responsibility to warm up the house for them.
Yeah, I think that it's really laughable that the mom is saying that OP was endangering the kids with cold. 50 degrees is not endangering the kids with cold. Like, that is a perfectly reasonable temperature. And I mean, it's just kind of absurd. Like, it's above freezing, right? 40 degrees is above freezing. That's not endangering anybody, right?
And like, their parents are the ones who brought them into this place and could take them out at any point in time. So if anyone was endangering anyone, which they weren't endangered, it would be the parents who are keeping them in the cold environment.
Yeah, if anything, the brother is completely in the wrong here because they basically forced their kids into burglarizing somebody else's home, right? Like, you don't do that, especially not to family, right? And Dave should have just took no as an answer. And like, while it's unfortunate that he couldn't, have this vacation or provide a vacation, it's not OP's fault here, right? I mean, OP couldn't trust him to clean up because he didn't clean up after himself last time.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, like, if he hadn't been such a slob the last time around, he wouldn't have lost this privilege. But it is a privilege and not a right, and it's OP's property. OP has the right to determine how it is used.
And then on top of that, like, doing this is only going to prove to OP that he can't trust Dave, right?
Well, that's the thing is he was trying to strong arm OP. He knew he didn't have permission to be there. and just assumed that OP, once he got there, OP wasn't going to do anything about it. So
Yeah.
OP did the smart thing to keep this from becoming a repeat occurrence.
Yeah, I absolutely think that OP did the right thing, because if OP hadn't put their foot down this time and just was like gave in to Dave now, it's going to be every single weekend. And what happens when guests are staying there and they show up or something like that, and then like try to strong arm the guests out of the house and like, well, we were promised the apartment and we're family or something like that. You know, I mean, I can see the entitlement getting to that level. I mean, maybe that wouldn't happen, but I mean, how many stories where people like, you know, give an inch and then, you know, they take more and more and more, you know. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Why did the person try surfing on a grandfather clock?
Well, they tried surfing on a grandfather clock because, believe it or not, there was a lot of rain. And not only was there a lot of rain, there was a lot of rain. And so, as the old rhyme goes, it's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. And so the old man, he went to sleep, and when he woke up, he was on his grandfather's clock, and there was water, and it was just coming up everywhere. And they realized that they had no choice but to learn how to surf there right then and there. And boy, oh boy, did they learn how to surf on their grandfather's clock. And their grandfather's clock was also telling time, and it opened its mouth and said, "You must embrace the surf." And so the old man did, and he started shredding on that grandfather clock, and that is why he did it.
Because they wanted to be a time traveler.
Ah.
And it's pretend to be a time traveler day and also National Brownie Day.
So, pretend to be a time traveler. Dress up either old-fashioned or super futuristic, and try to think of a device that hasn't been invented yet and carry it around to confuse future people when they look back on pictures and say, hey, this person must be a time traveler because they have technology that doesn't even exist. So, do that. Do that for me. And I have Mega Mint. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday, folks. I hope your Monday is off to a great start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on being a good guest or roommate.
Don't go places where you're told not to go. Don't invade other people's private spaces.
Yeah. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.